The following are basic assumptions of cardinal utility analysis. Beta, we know that there are two kinds of utility analysis. One is known as cardinal, the other is known as ordinal. Cardinal is based on numbers. Whenever you give numbers to utility in terms of utils, right? That I'm getting utility of 10, 20, 40. So whenever you give number to utility, it is called cardinal utility analysis. जब भी utility को numbers देते हो, उसको cardinal utility analysis बोलते हैं. Now, whenever you give ranking to utility, right? That I prefer bundle A over bundle B, then it is called ordinal utility analysis. So cardinality is in terms of giving numbers to utility, and ordinality is in terms of ranking. So we have these two concepts of giving numbers and giving ranking. Okay, beta? Now, you are given 4 statements here, and it is asking you whether 1 and 3 are correct, 1 and 4 are correct, 1 and 2 are correct, 1, 3 and 4 are correct. So we have to answer how many statements are correct in this case. Beta, let us read the statements first. Utility is measurable and quantifiable entity. Of course, अगर cardinal concept है, then cardinality is based on numbers. Cardinality तो number ही बोलता है. वो तो बोलता है कि आप उसको number में measure कर सकते हो. Cardinality says you can measure it in terms of number. तो ये बोलना सही होगा that utility is a quantifiable entity. This would be the correct thing to say, that utility is a quantifiable entity. So please write down, beta. First, let's write down Marshall. This was given by Marshall. Marshall's cardinal utility analysis is based on the following assumptions. So these are the assumptions of Marshall's cardinal utility analysis. But क्या assumptions है? First, utility is measurable and quantifiable entity. ये पहली assumption है. This is the first assumption of cardinal utility analysis, which is given by Marshall. And this assumption says that utility can be measured and quantified. We can measure and quantify utility. This is the first assumption. Second assumption. Marginal utility of money remains constant because Marshall measured marginal utility in terms of money. But Marshall ने हर marginal utility को, every marginal utility was measured in terms of money. Just for example, if you tell me how many marginal utility I get from TV, I will give it in terms of money. How much marginal utility I get from table, I will get it in terms of money. So, but a marginal utility itself is measured in terms of money. If marginal utility is measured in terms of money, then marginal utility of money itself is constant. Money की अपने आप में fluctuate नहीं हो सकती है. Money itself, its marginal utility cannot fluctuate, right? So marginal utility of money is constant, and every marginal utility is in terms of money. The third point. Utility which a consumer obtains from a good does not depend on the quantity consumed of other good. This is the third assumption, that what utility I get from the first good, it is not affected by utility from second good. So I cannot say that utility from TV is affected by utility from table. They are independent of each other. That's the third assumption. And fourth assumption. The last is use of introspective methods in judging the behavior of marginal utility. Right? What is introspection? Beta, introspection means I should have the ability to introspect, to go back. Introspect क्या होता है? कि suppose you did something, you watched a movie, then you come back and you tell, I am introspecting कि movie में ये सब हुआ था. Reconstruct the event, right? Ability to reconstruct event, ability of observer. मैंने observe किया कुछ, like introspection, right? I observed something, I'm trying to reconstruct that event, right? That is called introspection. So it says that you should be able to go ahead and introspect in judging the behavior of marginal utility. You should be able to judge the behavior of marginal utility. So please write down here, beta. Introspection is the ability of the observer to reconstruct events which go in the mind of another person with help of self-observation, with the help of self-observation. Right? Okay, better come to the question again. So first point, that marginal utility is measurable and quantifiable. This is true. Because it is a cardinal concept. Cardinality means we can go ahead and we can measure marginal utility. Marginal utility of money changes with change in income. No. This is the second point, that marginal utility of money should remain constant. Marginal utility of money does not change. It is constant. So this is false. Come to the next point. Utilities derived from various goods are interdependent. False. This is the third point. Utility which consumer obtains from a good does not depend on quantity consumed of other good. एक गुड दूसरे गुड पर कोई असर नहीं करता. The utility I get from one good is independent. It is separate from utility I get from the other good. So this is also false. Come to the next statement. The use of introspective method in judging behavior of marginal utility. This is correct, that you can use introspective methods. So this is true. So what is the correct answer to this question? A and D. So correct answer is A. B. A and 1 and 4 statements are correct. That is the answer to this question. Thank you.